Energy vampires. They're real, they're mean, and they're coming for all of us. No, this term is not a silly joke either. Energy vampires are a word used to describe people who generally suck the life out of everyone and everything around them. They tend to prey on people who are nice, kind, and generally see the good in others and the world around them. This means that sometimes the vampires find a place to feed in relationships, using their partners to feed off of. Sadly, oftentimes these partnerships leave the other person, the one being fed off of, oblivious to their own suffering. That's why, today, there is a list of 9 signs that you're dating an energy vampire. These signs need to be monitored carefully if there is any suspicion of anything with the partner. Energy vampires, by definition, are people who suck the life and fun out of everything in the life of those around them just to bring them down. It brings them joy. After all, misery does love company. Now, make sure that you stick around until number 1 to see the most jarring sign. It's insane! Number 9. They never take accountability. The words sorry, or the words I was wrong, never come out of energy vampires' mouths. They will never admit that they are responsible for their own misery. If they hate their job, it's the boss's fault, not theirs. If they aren't doing well at school, it's not their studying habits that stink, it's the teacher. The list goes on. Energy vampires think highly of themselves, and in so doing, diminish their own responsibility. After all, there's no way that they could be in the wrong. It's always someone else's fault when there's trouble brewing, never theirs. Now, do keep in mind that sometimes it can be the other party's fault. If a partner does tend to have a bad lot in life, it is possible that they could be innocent. However, if it always seems to be someone else's fault, there's a chance that maybe they're lying. Number 8. They're always involved in some kind of drama. For energy vampires, being a drama queen comes with the territory. They are always 100% involved in some kind of drama. Either they started it or they're involved in it. Somehow, some way. They can't seem to keep their nose out of the bad juju surrounding drama. They probably always gossip behind people's backs, or tweet about them, or post about them. They've probably always got something to say about everyone at any given moment, or are looking for dirt on someone. See, they want people to be just as miserable as they are. Ensuring that means making sure everyone is just as involved in the drama as they are. To make sure they're happy, others have to be just as miserable and sad as they are. What better way to do that than dragging their name through the mud and constantly talking bad about them? Number 7. They always one-up you. Energy vampires cannot see someone succeed if they aren't succeeding with them. This is a classic narcissistic behavior trait, but it is always present in energy vampires. If someone near and dear to them gets a promotion, an award, or even a compliment, an energy vampire will make it a point to make sure that they have the attention on them. For example, if someone close to the vampire gets a promotion, the energy vampire would make it a point to show how much of a better employee the vampire is than the person obtaining the promotion. If the innocent person gets a compliment, the vampire will immediately tell them how they're not as pretty or handsome as they are. They won't let anyone near them have any kind of recognition for anything they do unless they're attached to it. They have to be at the center of attention at all times, and if they aren't, they will do whatever they can to step on the happy person's big moment. Number 6. They diminish your problems and play up their own. In the same nature of always one-upping people's joy and accomplishments, these vampires also cannot let anyone else have bigger problems than they do. People can get attention from either the good or the bad. Promotions get attention the same way a death in the family does. News is news no matter what. Due to that fact, a vampire will absolutely do whatever they can to ensure that the attention remains on them. If the person they are feeding off of is having trouble with their boss, the vampire's boss was much worse. If the other person is struggling with a relationship, the vampire is so sad being single, or their relationship is somehow worse. No matter what it is, the vampire has almost certainly had it worse. That's how they work. This is also considered gaslighting. They can tell you that the problems they have are much worse than anyone else's, making them feel bad for feeling the way they feel. This gaslighting can make people think they're crazy, overly emotional, or worse. Instead of acknowledging their own pain, fear, or whatever nasty emotion they are feeling, the energy vampire finds a way to make them feel bad for feeling emotions, which is totally normal and healthy. Number 5. They act like a martyr. In the same way that these vampires cannot take accountability for anything, they also act like a martyr. Their suffering is never their fault, and if they are suffering, it's always for someone else. They're suffering at the hands of this boss so they can make money for someone else. They're not at fault, it's always someone else's fault, and because of that, they have the worst life ever. They can't do anything alone, and the pain that they feel is always because of someone or something else. They have to be the center of attention 24/7. So, making sure that they are always being seen as innocent victims in every scenario is very important. They are always being persecuted for some reason, along with the tagline of, "It isn't their fault." They cannot possibly be targeted because of their actions. It's because of where they're from. Or because their boss has a beef with his mother. It's never their fault, and they are always suffering in the place of someone else. Enjoying the video so far? Then don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful psychology videos like this one. You'll only get smarter, and it's free. Number 4. They use your good nature against you. Earlier, when it was mentioned that these vampires tend to feed off of those that do good in the world, it is a true and scary statement. Finding the will to make sure that the good in the world is still noticed is a practiced skill by many people in this world, and let it be known, it is very much a skill. Learning to see the joy in life every day is a hard task. Energy vampires seem to sense this, and they will find a way to make sure they manipulate anyone who looks for the good in the world. Anyone who trusts someone without any hesitation, anyone who smiles at sunrises, anyone who joyfully lives their life. See, happiness is contagious, but it is also very, very rare. And for people who don't have that joy, happiness is almost insulting. They must diminish it. They must ensure that anyone else who has it no longer maintains it. It's just that simple. Now, keep in mind that while, yes, vampires are attracted to these kinds of people, it doesn't mean that living a life focused on joy and trust and love is not a bad thing. In fact, it is something to strive for. Living life with a smile is never something to be ashamed of. Number 3. They use guilt trips or ultimatums. Energy vampires manipulate in order to get what they want. The easiest way to manipulate is to guilt trip the people they're closest to into believing that they are hurting the vampire by having fun or advancing in life. The vampires make it a point to make it seem like having fun without them is hurting them. They say that they are being abandoned, or maybe they're used to being abandoned by everyone whenever the person closest to them says that they're going out. They do whatever they can to make sure that they aren't left behind or left alone. Again, whoever is closest to them must suffer with them. They manipulate using the phrases like the one above to make the people they're closest to feel bad for living their life. They complain about being left alone without wondering why they're left alone. They complain about being left out but never wonder why they were left out in the first place. They don't want anyone close to them having fun, no matter what. They will do whatever they can to ensure the person closest to them would rather stay with them instead of have fun. Number 2. They're straight up bullies. Energy vampires are bullies. That's just the plain out truth. They try to make their loved ones feel bad, so they do whatever they can to attack their weak points. They make fun of anything that the person close to them feels self-conscious about, whether it's hair, clothing style, skin, feet, weight, etc. They will mock anything and everything from the people they love to make them feel small. They will crush dreams and self-esteem to make sure that the person they love feels just as low as they do. They bully, intimidate, lie, cheat, and do whatever they can to make the people closest to them upset. Their main goal at the end of the day is to make sure that they are as unhappy as they can be. Number 1. They're codependent. This one may be kind of shocking. If they're bullies and rude people, then how are they codependent? Well, it's simple. They can't live without others. They have to have someone to feed on at all times. So, if they cannot ever seem to be left alone, then they may be an energy vampire. And if you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more.